Welcome, welcome, welcome to the next episode of Joy Made Millionaire. I'm really excited that you're here. I'm excited to do another show, another Wednesday, and another episode is here. I am just making sure that the Instagram is going live, the YouTube is going live. We had some weirdness with Facebook the other day, but I hope, I hope and dream that it works today. We've got some really fun topics of conversation for today. If you are here and you are hearing me and you are seeing me here on the live stream, do not hesitate to let me know. Right now, it looks like one person is seeing me and the stream is spinning. So I am hopeful. I am hopeful and grateful. And we'll talk a little bit about gratitude today. That's going to be our first order of business. We are going to talk about gratitude. We are going to talk about just things that pumped us up back in the day, things that made us excited back in the day that we have kind of forgotten about, that we have kind of left by the wayside. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And we are going to talk about surrounding ourselves with positive inputs instead of doing the exact opposite. So I'm hopeful that my chat is working here today. I will definitely go around. I see that Simon is here, Lucy is here, Charity May, Stefan is here, and I'm going to go check out Facebook for all of that magic to see if that was working, since my feed is definitely being pretty funny. Let's see if it is looking like we're live. And I was live. So it's not showing on Facebook again, but we'll get YouTube up and everybody happy. That is one of the goals today. I'm just, I don't see anything. I see Scarlett is here and Melinda is here. So we've got 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Just like Miss Meatloaf said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Definitely seems like we're not seeing them all, but that's okay. We'll make it work. Let's talk about gratitude. There is a lot to be said about just doing the basic step of writing down things that you are grateful for, of writing down things that you are actually grateful for in your life. That could be things that have happened in the past. That could be things that are happening right now. But what we don't think a lot about is things that could happen in the future. This is something that we really run into, where we are grateful for the now and we're grateful for the past, but we're not great for, it would be great for this next big, wonderful, great thing to happen. But if you believe in energetic work, and I am becoming more and more of a believer of energetic work by the day, as it continues to work in my own life, as it continues to work in the lives of others that I get to see, as it continues to work in the lives of the people that I get to work with, that I get to coach in my 7-figure business, Best Page Forward. Energetic work works. Not just focusing on tactics, not just focusing on strategy, but focusing on what's your vibe like. What is your vibe like? And I know my realists in the room, my pessimists in the room, my my wonderful math people, science people in the room. I know that the idea of energetic work is a little bit weird. It's woo-woo. It's strange. No question, it is strange. So, does that mean it doesn't do anything? I don't think so. Personally, I think that energetic work might be some of the most important stuff you do. And what is something you can do to make your energy, this spiritual woo-woo substance, what is something you can do to make that at a higher level than it is at the moment? And the things we're going to talk about today definitely tap into that. But gratitude, writing down things you are grateful for, elevates your energy to another level. It takes you from where you are to where you want to be, or closer to where you want to be. We talked about this a little bit last week with the concept of pre-celebration. I just did a celebration for an upcoming successful month. We're 4 days into the month when I'm recording this. So what proof do I have that I can pre-celebrate ahead of time for the success of this month? And that's where the energetic stuff comes in. We want to raise our energy. We want to raise our vibration. So gratitude raises your vibration. Gratitude puts you in a state where you might be able to receive more good things, more good ideas, more energy to be able to, practical energy to be able to actually get stuff done. So we want to raise our energy. That's a given. Even if you don't believe in the woo-woo stuff, you want to be in a frame of mind where you are getting more stuff done. Of course, gratitude puts you at a higher state, but gratitude is really only focusing on what you are happy that has happened, what you are happy that you do currently have. But this poses a problem. We want other things. We want to have more customers. We want to sell more of our products. We want to reach new goals. Being grateful for what we have doesn't get us all the way there. It gets us part of the way there. So what do we need to do to take that a step further? We list out a couple things that we're grateful for in the now, but then we talk about what it will be great to happen in the future. And so one practice, and I definitely learned this from my mentor, Amanda Francis, write down what you're grateful for, 2 or 3 things, and then write down something that it will be great to happen in the future. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for this. And then you can even keep it present tense. I'm grateful for my $200,000 a month. I'm grateful for this thing that is going to happen. I'm grateful for this thing being done in some way in the universe. And so my recommendation is you do a gratitude journal. You write down things that you're grateful for. You focus on the things that you're grateful for, but then you go a step further and you write down what it will be great to happen in the future. So I definitely wanted to see kind of what folks thought. I see a couple other people, David, Keith popping in here. I see Carolyn's in here for more inspiration. Let me know what you guys think about gratitude in the present and then this gratefulness for what is to come. I would love to hear your thoughts. We're a little bit hamstrung by it. Looks like our Facebook feed did not go through again today. I will shake my fist at Restream to get this all sorted out. It doesn't look like their chat is doing what it's supposed to either. But I'm grateful to be talking to you guys. So that's what matters. All right. So we've got the gratefulness in the present and in the future. What is the next step here? So we have so much of a running dialogue in our brain that unfortunately we kind of get trained into negativity. We get trained to look for the worst. We look at the negative things people are saying. We look at the negative reviews. We look at, well, what is a problem I can solve? Some of you may have even brought up the idea of, well, I had to put out 3 fires today. How many of you have been in that situation? I know I have. I know I have. We are hardwired to a certain extent to look out for danger, and the danger in 2026 is related to our job because we're not being chased. So we invent things to chase us. We look at the negative things we can solve. But you know what? If you are like me, and I have certain Clifton strengths that don't fare well with negativity, I'm high significance, which means I want people to like me. I'm high positivity, which means I'm rankled by negativity. And if you have some of those strengths up at harmony, if you have some of those types of strengths up top, then you may need to go out of your way to schedule time to look at the positive things. Schedule time to look back at the file of things that show you are awesome. Schedule time to, in a way, be grateful for the happy, positive things that people have said about you. So we're in the first one, we're focusing on the gratitude for what we have. In this second one, in a way, we're focusing on the gratitude of what people have said about us, our 5-star reviews on our website or on our products or on our books. You are allowed to insulate yourself from a lot of the negativity. You are allowed to not watch the news all the time. You are allowed to turn off notifications that are negative or ads that are negative. You are allowed to do this. You have my permission to do this. And instead, you can give yourself the gift of having some times per day or per week. Some people need to do it every day, which honestly I think is a good practice, where you are setting aside the time to look at what good things people have said about you. You are allowed to have these as backgrounds on your phone. You're allowed to have these as sticky notes on your desktop or those fake digital sticky notes on your computer desktop. You are allowed to do this. You are absolutely allowed to do this. So I highly, highly recommend that you don't just let your brain do what it naturally does, which is focus in on the negatives, and instead consider going positive with it. Instead, consider forcing yourself. There's nothing wrong with scheduling this, getting this on your schedule. Time with my 5-star reviews, time with my happiest customer emails, time with the testimonials, the people whose lives I've changed. Set aside the time to remember how loved you are, to show yourself the evidence of how loved you are. This is a great way to add more joy to your business and to remind you how great you are. And since we're talking about energetics today, it raises your vibration. It raises your vibration. Hey, Sandra found me. Great. And yes, as Lucy points out, there is a scientific basis for manifesting. Absolutely. When you raise your vibration, good things are more likely to come to you. Whether you're doing this with the gratitude, whether you're doing this with your 5-star reviews, raise that vibration. Love some folks coming in here. Kathleen had said, I'm grateful every morning and start my day with positive energy. 100%. Anita said, thanking God several times a day for what he blesses me with. Yes. Carolyn had said, I hadn't considered gratitude for the future. It makes a huge, huge difference. Huge, huge difference. And Carolyn, yes, nothing wrong with an appointment on your calendar for gratitude. Yes. And Kathleen, sometimes the best way out of these negative circumstances that have happened is to lean in to that positivity. I'm glad that you are focusing on that. I'm very, very glad. Kim Ann is here Pacific time. So thanks, Kim. Appreciate it. All right. So we've got a couple of ways to raise our energy, raise our vibration, the gratitude for the now and for the future. We have spending some time with our 5-star reviews, spending some time with our best testimonials, spending some time with the people who have showed love for us in the past. So we have all that. Let's round it out with a third one that I think is really, really fun. Y'all, we're older than we used to be. It's just the natural way of things, unless you're Benjamin Button listening to this show, in which case, hey there, I wonder what point you are in your life. But we tend to mellow out a little bit. We tend to gravitate towards, listening to this calm thing. Our life has been so hectic at times. Listening to this calm thing, listening to this Zen thing, listening to this chill thing. Y'all, I know you all used to rock out. I know you used to get excited about certain songs and you would tap your feet and dance around the house to certain music. I know it. I know it because I do the same. There are certain things that I used to listen to that would fire me up. And then we got into this productivity mindset, this feeling zen mindset, and we started listening to fewer and fewer tunes that we could scream out loud in the car. And I think you can change this. I think you are allowed. Look, if you're older, you're the people in your life might be hard of hearing anyway. So we can go there. But if you are really, really feeling low energy at times, and you're doing all the things you can in health, you're doing all the things you can in getting enough sleep, you're doing everything you can medically or herbally or vitamin wise, but you're still feeling low energy, bring the fun back. Y'all, I have been over this past week, if I'm feeling low, I will do a dance break. I will take a dance break. I will put on my my headphones. I have them right here, my Shocks, so that I'm not bugging everybody. I put on my headphones and I am dancing it out. And I pick music that has a beat to it, that has a positive message. I've been listening to Katrina and the Waves, Walking on Sunshine, lifted me higher and higher. I've been listening to some great stuff to pump me up, because sometimes, y'all, you need a pump up song. I know a lot of people I connect with are women, worked with mostly women over the years. But in the world of World Championship Wrestling, World Wrestling Federation, World Wrestling Entertainment, the wrestlers had a theme song they would come out to, and it would fire everybody up. Find your theme song, man. Find the thing that fires you up, because you are allowed. You are allowed to be weird. You are allowed to pump things up. You are allowed to do things that are silly and funny and funky. And I have been dancing around my house. I have been dancing around my house. And it's been so fun to just be out there, to be crazy, to have a good time, and to not be so worried about, oh, well, I think, and sometimes that's just about moving your body. But look, for a little while, try this. Trade out. Scarlett's got some fight songs. I love it. Deborah says, dance break. Now you're speaking my language. Because why do we do this? Jamie's got the Barry Manilow. Do it. Do it, Jamie. I love it. Kathleen's got a playlist. Do it. Because why do we do this? Why do we need to do this? Why is it going to be helpful for you to do this? One, brings you back to a time where you had more energy, a time where you were really pumped up, where you were really fired up. Also, it raises your spiritual energy. It raises the physical energy. It raises the spiritual energy. It's doing everything you want it to do. It's doing everything you want it to do to pump you up. And so if you are feeling like, oh man, I had it this morning and I don't have it right now, you have my permission once again. I'm going to give you permission a lot of the time on Joy Made Millionaire. I'm going to give you permission to be weird. I'm going to give you permission to try things. I'm going to give you permission to lean into your love. We talked about that wonderful joy triangle of things that you love doing, that you're good at, that actually work. Lean on into that. I'm going to give you permission a lot because I know it's tough sometimes to give permission to yourself. But I'm going to say go lean in to that permission. Go really fire yourself up. You can do this. You can be weird. You can dance. If you have felt the music in you, but you haven't danced in 10 years, dance it out. Grow that feeling within you. That is going to help you to sell more. It's silly. It's silly. I recently had the highest month that my company has ever had. I say I, but it's really we at Best Page Forward recently had our best sales month by 19.5%. 19.5% increase over the best month ever had been 159,000. We went up to $190,000 in gross sales. And I can point to tactics that we did. I can point to things that we tried. But the biggest thing I did was focus on my energy, raise my vibe. Know that it was coming. Know that it was possible. Going back to last week, I pre-celebrated us having our best month yet, and then it happened. I pre-celebrated by having a delicious barbecue dinner. Guess what I did just yesterday? I'm pre-celebrating us going from 190,000 to 200,000 with a delicious Mediterranean meal. I pre-celebrated. I'm calling my shot because raising your vibration, however you want to do it, if you want to be grateful for the now, you want to be grateful for the future, do it. If you want to, as I forget what the middle point was, if you want to take time with your 5-star reviews, with your top testimonials, with the best clients yet, and look at that input, that is going to raise your vibration. And then if you go and dance it out, dance your heart out, dance like no one's watching, even if they are, have fun. Have fun with the music. Let it course through your veins. So many of us, it's just like, oh, well, I want to get awake. I'm going to drink more coffee. There is more you can do. There's more you can do. There's less downside possible. It is very, very possible. And so I love it. Carolyn has a playlist with Queens Don't Stop Me Now. Anita going back to the 60s. Absolutely. Y'all, you have it in you. You have it in you to raise yourself up. You have it in you to grow your career. You have it in you to prioritize making yourself feel better, feel stronger, grow your vibe. And it's funny hanging out with all the wonderful people that I do in the Amanda Francis Mastermind. People talk about, oh, this is vibey. This makes me feel a vibe. I'm so vibing right now. And it feels a little goofy at first. And yet you see these people making oodles and oodles of money. And you know that, oh, this is something they cracked already. They cracked the vibe code. And so I hope that today's 3 tips have helped you to figure out the next step in your own vibe growth. So I want to thank everybody. And hey, Kay, hey, Craig, who popped in here. I want to thank everybody who was able to come here live today. Remember, our episodes go up a couple days later on the interwebs. If you are interested in getting more and more tips on how to be even more joyful in your business, go to joymademillionaire.com and feel free to let me know if you think there is something you want me to talk about, you want to hear me talk about when it comes to increasing your vibe, when it comes to increasing your joy, when it comes to using that increase in joy to increase your bottom line, your income. I want you to comment on one of the videos. I want you to let me know. Comment, email me at joymademillionaire@gmail.com, and we are happy to go there. So it has been a delight. Thanks, Sandra. Thanks, everybody. Love spending this time with you every Wednesday. I hope you have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. And we will be back next week for episode 6 of Joy Made Millionaire. Bye, everybody. Take good care.